Well, everybody, happy Thursday / early Friday morning. We are back at it again with another edition of the daily live stream. I am your host, Crypto Bro, also known as Brian, and we are back once again. How the hell is everybody? I hope y'all are happy. I hope y'all are well. We have plenty of awesome things to talk about in the channel today. Give me 1 second as I scratch my butt. Yeah. What a productive day. What an exciting day that we had. Seems to be a little bit of excitement in the cryptocurrency sphere. I want to talk about Ethereum for sure today. And we do have plenty of requests and a lot of discussion today in the group chat here about the Hall of Fame. So we'll definitely get into the Hall of Fame. We'll definitely get into a bunch of analysis today. As I'm excited. Obviously, a couple of changes I made today. The disclaimer that I usually read aloud during the beginning of every stream is now listed in the description below. Also, a link to the Facebook Blackfire community is down below. So if you are a new viewer, if you are viewing for the first time and you have interest in joining the Facebook community, hit that link below. Come on in and just check out the page. It should automatically send you an invite. If not, you know where to find my name. My name is Brian, and there's two of me in the group, so just click my name if you're interested. Add me as a friend, and we'll get you into the Blackfire Technical Analysis Facebook community. There's also a link below for the Twitter handle @FireAnalysis in the description below. I would imagine that I'm going to be adding a few more things and tweaking that description, here and there as moderators give me a few ideas to boost the awesomeness of the channel, right? So that is definitely below. I don't feel the need to tell you that I'm not a financial advisor anymore, although I will mention it a few times in the stream. I don't want any of my content to be construed as financial advice, so I'm always going to throw in those not a financial advisor, right? I say it all the time. I want it to be very, 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 very clear. That if you decide to make a trading or investment decision off the speculative content that we provide, again, in the description below, I am not responsible for your own screw-ups. So, I had an incident once already this year where someone tried to put the full blame on me. You made the decisions, bro. Sorry. You pressed the green button, you pressed the red button, you failed to mitigate your risk, you took a loss. You can only blame yourself. So that's why that disclaimer is there. I know, I wanted to talk about it a little bit. That is why that disclaimer is there, to protect me legally from any kind of backlash. Because at the end of the day, if the channel does, grow and grow, someone's going to make a fucked up decision based off the content that we provide. And I would only imagine that, this time is not going to be the first and only time I ever get backlash from a fan or from a follower due to a poor decision that they made. So that's why that disclaimer is there. It is there to protect me, to protect my channel legally, right? That's legal. There ain't jack shit you can do to me if you fuck up based off the speculative content that we provide. So again, the description it's in the description. Excuse me. The statement is in the description below. I advise that everybody get familiarized with it, read it, especially any new members coming into the channel. Familiarize with it, because at the end of the day, I think I'm just gonna stop. Today's probably the last time I will mention the disclaimer, but I will mention that it is in the description below. And what else do I have? The links, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. I think we're going to go ahead, hop right into the content today. It is free, it is educational, and it is fucking juicy. What do we have on NASDAQ here? What do we have on NASDAQ? What do we have? Oh, we have a bunch of boring fucking price action right now. Actually, looking at price action here currently from a candle body perspective here on new all-time highs. However, it's still way too early to be calling new all-time highs. It's been very, very, very boring for the past few days. Obviously, we've had some sharp wicks to the upside and to the downside, very indicative of consolidation on the shorter term time frames. We can go ahead and identify that range right now on the 4-hour chart, and I would say that this is very applicable. But I don't play with the 4 hours, so it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter to me. What I trade is the daily. Right. That's what I wanted to cover. So for everybody, especially a couple of the newcomers into the channel today, I want to give everybody a heads up. I trade the daily, and specifically the daily only. Now that doesn't mean I don't go back in time, right? It doesn't mean I don't check out the 8 hour or the 4 hour. The 8 hour and the 4 hour are very relevant to my analysis because there are points where the 4 hour can affect the daily time frame. So I use those as points of reference, but I trade specifically the 24-hour time frame, the daily time frame, right? I make all of my decisions, all of my trading decisions on the daily time frame. So I wanted to clear that up for everybody. There are going to be strategies within the 4 hour time frame, within the hourly time frame, within the 30-minute time frame, hell, within the 1 minute time frame that work, that are profitable, that don't apply to how I analyze and trade via my own accounts. So, my buddy Corey, he's a moderator in the group. He was mentioning today, to the T. Let's actually bring up what he was saying here before we get deep into the analysis. Let's see if I can fucking find it. We had a lot of conversations in the group chat today. Man. Here we go. Yeah, so, basically, what everyone needs to understand, it has caused confusion in the past. He did mention, I mostly go by the daily, so it's a longer time frame and trends. It's swing trading, definitely not day trading. Example above would end up being a continuation of an uptrend, even though someone like me who trades shorter time frames could easily short it, right? You could play ranges on the short, you could play different types of moves on shorter term time frames and still be profitable. Again, when you trade, right, you don't want to you don't want to make a trading decision based off of 4 or 5 different time frames. You're going to get all sorts of fucked up making decisions on a bunch of time frames, right, for one specific trade. But if you narrow down your time frames, like me, I've narrowed it down to the 1 day time frame. I do believe it's very, very profitable. The 21 exponential moving average strategy on the daily time frame, in my opinion, is very, very profitable. I do disagree with Corey with the fact that it is still considered day trading because I can take profits on a daily basis on this strategy here. I can mitigate my risk on a daily basis with this strategy. I can adjust my exit and entry zones on the daily time frame every day, right? From my perspective, it is still day trading because I am doing a lot of work on my position still every single day, right? So, differentiate the difference between shorter term time frame and a longer term time frame. Shorter term time frame could be 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour chart, 4 hour chart. Medium term time frames range between the 8 hour chart, the 24-hour chart, and sometimes, in some cases, the weekly chart. And longer term time frame charts are the weekly and up. So that's kind of how I perceive the market as far as time frames are concerned. I wanted to clear that up. There is a little bit of confusion, but everybody knows. So let's hop into it. Let's get back into it, right? I'm a little excited. Last night's stream was fucking awesome. I had a great time. I'm trying to have, this great of a time every time, right? I want everybody to catch that vibe, because I feel like, if I'm not myself, then what the fuck am I doing, right? What the hell am I doing? So, I'm trying to stay pumped. I'm trying to stay excited. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want on my streams. I'm going to be pumped as shit. And let's get into it. NASDAQ. All the rambling aside, here's what I'm looking at right now. Here's a very important factor. We got a fresh cross back to the upside of the stochastics, deep in the bullish critical zone, right? Boom. Perfect. Boom. I like that. What does that tell me? This tells me that the bulls still have control. They still have control. They've had control this entire time, ladies and gentlemen. They have had control this entire time. And this is kind of what I'm looking for here on the stochastics here. If price action continues to go to the upside, I'm going to be looking for this coily bullshit here with the stochastics. Although we are on slightly lower highs, if we see continuation, the case for potential bearish divergence possibly goes out the fucking window, at least for the time being, right? So let's look at price action. What is price action telling us, right? Again, a little bit boring here, a little bit boring. We saw a little bit of a fresh cross here with some downside pressure, with some wicks to the downside, but we've been perfectly sideways. We've been perfectly, almost perfectly sideways for the last 3 days. That's not to say that we couldn't see the same thing today. It is definitely a boring market as far as the daily time frame is concerned. If you're shorting the short-term time frames, you have a range. Congratulations, trade that range. I'm not a range trader. So we have a little bit of boring price action here. We are seeing a little bit of an upside reaction, but I'm not expecting shit, right? For the meantime, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive daily candle closures above the 1.272 Fibonacci extension target. Perfect, right? So it's now new tentative support. I am looking at this region as new tentative support, and again, my main disposition, as long as price action remains above that 21 exponential, is continuation to the 1.414 Fibonacci extension target, somewhere around 15,780. Okay, now that's not to say that we couldn't see a top out here, and in a more significant pullback, even to this region here, which would be the secondary target, 15,375 to the downside is a potential target for a higher low structure. And at this point, technically, the yellow 21 even provides a legitimate target to the downside for a potential higher low structure. But this momentum here, you guys, this momentum, right? We're seeing a powerful push to the upside. I'm fucking bullish. Excuse me, I need some water. I got a little too excited here. 2 viewers already. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm about to chug some fucking water. Let's get it. So what does this mean for price action? All right, let's look at RSI. What is RSI telling us, right? Again, we do still have the possibility to see a little bit of bearish divergence play out on the RSI if and only if we see the condition of a top confirm, right? We don't have a top yet, right? We haven't seen a stop and reverse point from the all-time high down, right? We haven't seen this stop and reverse to the downside, so we don't have a top call, right? We see a little bit of this stair-stepping, slightly slowly rising to the upside price action. We don't have a top call on RSI, but that does not mean the potential for bearish divergence isn't there, right? The potential is there, although it's not confirmed, it's still there. Why? Why, you say? Why? So we're looking at RSI here, right? We already took out this high, and this high, but the highs that we haven't taken out yet are boom, this high and this high. We can still see bearish divergence play off if we confirm a top and closing RSI below this prior high here, right? We can still argue that bearish divergence is still a possibility, although we are in the bullish control zone, and I do believe the bulls have absolute control of this market right now. That does not differentiate the possibility for bearish divergence. Now, bearish divergence doesn't mean a death sentence, in my opinion, right? It doesn't mean a death sentence unless we see some kind of like swan dive to the down. All that means for me is that if we do get potential bearish divergence here, especially if we get a top call, some of those lower targets are going to be very possible, in my opinion, especially to like 15,475 or even lower to the prior breakout point at 15,375. So, as far as price action to the downside, those are my only 2 targets as of now. Softer target of the yellow 21. Again, like I said, the 21 is a possibility for price action here. Even if we saw price action swan dive to the 21 exponential, bounce off of it, we still have the case for a potential higher low based off of this low here and this low here, right? We are on a low, higher low and higher high structure at the current moment in time, right? This being our base low here, followed by a beautiful extension to the upside, hit resistance once, boom, tested support, boom, confirmed a low, right? We could definitely come back to the 21 as long as we are closing candles above this prior low here. Any price region above this region here is considered higher low territory, right? That doesn't mean it has to happen that way. It doesn't have to happen that way. But that's kind of how I'm looking at price action right now. I'm very excited, and to be quite honest with you, this is pull it out, right? Pull it out. Look at this fucking market, you guys. Look at this. I mean, it doesn't get any juicier than that, right? Absolutely juicy price action to the upside. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. There is no signs of the trend coming to an end at any given point in time until proven otherwise, right? So that's kind of how I'm looking at NASDAQ today. Very, very, very powerful price action movements. And like I said before, I am looking overall for that general extension to the 1.414 Fibonacci extension, somewhere around 15,780. And again, anytime we approach an area of interest, again, if you zoom out all the way, you don't see any price action over here, right? This is the first time in this asset's history ever price action being this high. So, you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. We could potentially see a major sell-off at the 1.414, any kind of daily candle closures above the 1.414, and then the next target becomes the 2.272, somewhere around 17,780. And that, in my opinion, is not a quick target. It's not going to boom, right? It's not going to shoot to the moon, hit that target, and we're all happy and swimming in, 40% profits. No. In my opinion, it's going to take, quite some time for that target to be met for price action. Again, if the condition is confirmed, right? And speaking of conditions confirmed, if you are a new time subscriber and first time watcher, I plan for everything. I plan for price action to consolidate. I plan for price action to go to the upside, and I plan for price action to come to the downside. If you fail to plan, your plan is to fail, as a great YouTuber named Crypto Kirby once said to me. If you fail to plan, your plan is to fail. So this is kind of my plan. Looking for a couple of soft targets. I do have 3 soft targets to the downside here for potential price action. And again, they're soft targets because hard targets to the downside aren't confirmed unless we get a reversal. Unless I see some kind of reversal style candlestick, I am not going to be convinced that price action is going to come down to 14,900 or 14,500. Right? That's why I consider them soft targets, because they are more probable, in my opinion, than seeing a complete swan dive to the downside. That's not to say that a swan dive to the downside isn't possible, but it is what it is. That's kind of how I'm looking at NASDAQ here today. Let's go ahead and check out SPY futures here. New fucking all-time highs confirmed on yesterday's candle closure. What the shit? Holy fuck! Oh my god! Look, man. Same disposition. I'm looking for continuation. If this candle if today's candle closes above the 1.272 Fibonacci extension target here, I'm going to be looking for continuation to the 1.414. By the way, let me tell you, that TA mamba bamba bamba, it fucking works. What did I say? Right? One of my outline targets, it was met. Target has been met. Target has been met. Target has been met. I'm going to go loud and fucking crazy every time a target is met here, and a target has been met. The 1.414 Fibonacci extension target obviously has been met for quite some time, but now we're seeing price action continue onwards and upwards through it. What do we have? Ooh, we have a higher low on the RSI. RSI printing new highs. Ooh, is it new highs? Is it new highs? We got to really zoom in on this one. We really got to extend this here. We got to really look closely. Barely new highs being confirmed, printing on the RSI gives me excitement. What more importantly, seeing the RSI break into the bottom side of the bullish control zone here and looking still up, right? Still looking to continue climbing up gives me confidence here that maybe we start seeing some control in this bullish territory here, and that's very exciting for the SPY futures here. Why? Bull market, right? Bull market. Looking at the stochastics here, another delicious read. Seeing that little bit of soft cross to the downside, then boom, just kidding, fuck you, false. Continuation of the bullish trend, very, very, very evident here with stochastics. Again, deep in the bullish critical zone. I have no reason not to think that the bulls have absolute control of this market right now. And again, looking for price action to extend to the 1.414 is my next disposition for this, unless we see an open and closure below 21, right? I still have downside soft targets, but right now, my confidence on seeing any kind of pullback right now is very low. Why? Because we are coming off a new higher low right here. So we're going to go ahead and boom. We're going to make a little bit of a box right here. Here's your low, here's the resistance, broken resistance, back test, new tentative support. Any closure above this will be a confirmation closure. Boom, I'm looking for continuation to the upside. Ooh, I got a comment. Matt says, happy Friday. Can't wait to hear some analysis. Thanks for being here, bro. I appreciate your support. If you don't mind, man, where are you from, bro? Don't give me like your address or anything, but like general ballpark. Where are you from, bro? I'm from Ohio. I'm in Ohio, unfortunately. It's 52 degrees right now. As soon as September hits, boom, it's like a light switch. No more hot summer nights. Haha, just kidding. Fall and winter is coming. But yeah, so let's talk about the potential upside. Oh, I already did. I'm tripping. I already talked about the potential upside. Potential upside for this one is the one spot 414, somewhere around at 45.85. Give or take a few dollars, here and there. But again, like I said, we're coming off of a new higher low, printing a new highs. Continuation is my only disposition. Again, unless we see some kind of catastrophic event, swan diving price action to the downside. Illinois, yeah, you know the feeling, brother. Matt says Illinois. You know the feeling of these winters coming. It's probably a little chilly over there right now. I guarantee it. Fucking hate winter, bro. I wish it was summer all the time, man. I need some water. I'm too excited. I am too excited. Man, I'm taking forever on this analysis, ain't I? 25 minutes in, and I'm only on fucking SPY futures. All right, so let's change the pace here. So again, for SPY futures, stochastics crossing back to the upside, bullish critical zone, RSI breaking into the bullish control zone, printing another higher low on price action. If price action, closes below this new higher low, slight change of behavior on the daily time frame, but I'm not looking at this as a macro low here. I'm looking at this as kind of an inconsequential low as far as the downside price action is concerned. As far as the upside, this is very, very significant for the possibility of upside continuation. And if we do close below this low here, I would be looking for the first target at the prior breakout zone, somewhere around 44.95, followed by potentially even a test of the yellow 21 exponential. Now, if we close below the yellow 21 exponential, that's where things get a little more serious in my opinion. So that's kind of how I'm looking at ES1. Let's do a quick one of Dow Jones. We're going to start flying. Okay, so we got upside pressure here on that ceiling of resistance, right? We've been closely monitoring this ceiling of resistance. It's very well documented, right? And we're still putting pressure to the upside. Obviously, we've seen some, rejection to the downside. The 21 holding as tentative support here. I think, in my opinion, I think the 21 wins this. I think the 21 wins this, but, we got a couple of conflicts. Whoa, wait a minute. I didn't see that. We got a higher low. Oh, we got a higher low. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, look at that. I really looked at this with a little caution yesterday, right? Because I saw the potential for a lower high in the stochastic formation here. Again, our pretty much all-time high coming off this formation here, followed by that, just kidding, coming down to test that 50 read, and then starting to curl over here. And I thought I saw a little bit of a fresh cross, and I started to get concerned, right? But we're seeing that fresh cross get negated, holding as support, crossing back to the upside with that candle closure on that resistance here. So what am I looking for? To be quite honest with you, after confirming a higher low, seeing a cross back up on stochastics, I have no reason not to think that price action doesn't attempt to break that resistance coming into tomorrow. Maybe even not tomorrow, maybe the beginning of next week. But look, the pressure is heavy, right? The pressure is heavy on that resistance, so I'm going to be looking for this to break to the upside. If we do break to the upside, I'm going to be looking for a test of that all-time high resistance at 35,635. And any candle closure above that region here, I'm going to be looking at the one spot 272 once again, somewhere around 36,300. Quite the opposite to the downside. The only condition I'm looking for is reversal below the 21 exponential, at which point I'd start targeting this low here. 34,700 to the downside, and if we seeing continuous closures below the 21, I'd say more than 3, right? We've seen a couple of stabs below where it's like 1 or 2 candles below the 21. This one more significant, obviously. I'd say more than 3. I would look for targets possibly even lower than 34,700. First target I'd look for to the downside after that condition would be met would be 34,450. And that's where I'll leave it, right? I don't want to look at too many targets to the downside because I'm not confident that price action is just going to flip and reverse again. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's definitely very possible that it can happen. But price action's putting heavy pressure on that resistance. NASDAQ is, consolidating on new all-time highs. SPY futures just printed new all-time highs. I do think it is about time. It is overdue for this one to see some new all-time highs. So price action looking very exciting here for the traditional stock market. Let's look at Dixie. And you know what? Oh my God, I saw Dixie today. Another fucking confirmation has been confirmed. You can't make this shit up, ladies and gents. You can't. What did I say? The potential to see a new low could be upon us for the US dollar index. And wouldn't you know it? Wow. We got a new low. We got a change of behavior, ladies and gentlemen, on the US dollar index. Change of behavior confirmed, change of behavior confirmed, change of behavior confirmed. I think I just got a comment. Just give me 1 second. Matt says, do you ever trade Ethereum or mainly Bitcoin? Okay. Mainly Bitcoin, but I really want to get into Ethereum. So, you know, my thought process is I'm going to keep trading Bitcoin, right? It's bull market. You know, Bitcoin has the potential to continue to rise to the upside, which we'll get in a minute. I've been trading Bitcoin for quite a long time, and then I saw Ethereum. I'm excited about Ethereum, but I don't want to start trading Ethereum until the price of Ethereum dives, right? I'm looking for a cryptocurrency bear market first before I start entering into Ethereum. I'm into other coins like, you know, Cardano. I think I have some Dogecoin. Yeah, I definitely have some Dogecoin. I think I have about 4,000 Dogecoin. I'm just sitting on right now. I think I have a little bit of Raven coin, but those are kind of like inconsequential for me. Those are mostly like hodls, but I basically day trade Bitcoin for the most part. So, and you know, if you look at my screen here, all of these red icons for stocks here, these are all stocks that I'm currently trading. I do believe I have this Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin on Femex is highlighted in red. Anything you see highlighted in red, which I should probably change that. Anything you see highlighted in red here on my screen is basically what I'm in. It's you know, those are the things that I'm trading right now. Obviously, I intend to expand. I just got a message. I do apologize. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, everything in the red is what I trade mainly. Obviously, I want to expand that, but you know, I work a day job, right? You know, I have a full-time job on top of this job here, so you know, I'm trading, you know, not as a whole bunch, right? I don't want to overwhelm myself. I want to stay very limited with what I'm trading right now, but I want to try to maximize the profits on those trades, you know, as best as humanly possible, to the point where I can say, hey, I've earned enough from the stock market and from the cryptocurrency market that I can quit my job. And then when I start working this full time, holy shit, I'm gonna trade fucking everything that I can, right? Any stock that's decent, I'm gonna try to trade it. Any cryptocurrency that's decent, including Ethereum, I'm gonna trade it. But let's go ahead and hop back in. You guys, I can't make this shit up, you guys. I really can't make it up here. We do see a change of behavior absolutely confirmed on the US dollar index. Now looking at a confirmed downtrend, right? We have our lower high, right? We got our blow off top here. Boom, hitting this resistance here, coming down, putting in a lower high, coming down, putting in a lower low, and now another lower low. Now I'd say it's about time to see a potential bounce here, maybe even back up to this region here at 92.50. But am I confident in that? No. Let me tell you why here. Stochastics continuing to delve deeper and deeper in the bearish critical zone. The bears have absolute control of the market right now. RSI. Not even testing the 50 read, absolutely just crushing that 50 read here, printing new lows. Yes, printing new lows, vastly new lows here, and you know, that change of behavior is confirmed. So we already hit the first target here. Close enough is close enough. We've already hit the first target somewhere around 92.1. And now I'm going to be looking for that to break. If we do see a breakdown below 92.1 here, I'll be looking for a retest of the base low all the way down at 91.83 first and foremost. Now, if we take out 91.83, the macro structure is fucked, in my opinion. The macro structure ultimately leads to a long-term bear trend here if we take out 91.84, we'll call it, right? You can't make this stuff up, right? You guys remember in yesterday's stream, I was talking about the U.S. dollar index potentially continuing the downward movement here, and we got that for sure, confirming new lows on price action. Change of behavior absolutely confirmed after the secondary candle closure below new tentative resistance, confirming it as new tentative resistance. Any price action that moves to the upside, I'm going to be looking to be met with heavy resistance. I got another comment. Matt says, I almost got lucky with Ethereum Classic, bought a bunch at 5 and sold it at 7. Now it's at 60. Dude, you're telling me, man, when I first got into trading, man, Ethereum Classic, I was so I was so heavy on Ethereum Classic, it was almost stupid, right? So I bought like, I don't know, $200, $300 worth, and then like it hit like used to $7 or $8, and I was like, all right, I'm out, blah blah blah. I wasn't experienced. I was a noob, right? I didn't understand the concept of potentially holding something long term and making major gains. I probably would have made a shit ton if I hold it to $60, dude. I get you. I feel it, man. I feel it. So what's the game plan for the dollar here? Again, a pity bounce, not out of the question to see a pity bounce, but downside continuation is the most likely outcome, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but from my own speculation here, it does look like pressure is on to the downside. I do think the bulls are out of the question at the moment in time, and we are seeing this yellow 21 act as resistance. As long as price action is closing candles below the yellow 21 exponential, I have no reason to be looking for any upside targets. Now, we can talk about potentially closing above it. If we do, this would be my first general region, 92 spot 97, but I don't think that's likely, guys, to be quite honest with you. Again, that 21 acting as resistance, putting a lot of pressure on price action to the downside. The bears have control, especially from a stochastics perspective, and looking even a little diabolical on the RSI. So down. Again, my only disposition is looking for this target to potentially break 92 spot 1 to the downside. I do apologize. I'm having a little bit of an allergy issue here. Gotta love that water. Gotta love my excitement. I'm fucking stoked. Thanks for being here, guys. Seriously, I vastly appreciate you guys. If there are any new followers or potential followers, any new viewers coming through the channel right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. It helps out the YouTube algorithm so we can, gain some traction on getting a little bigger. And if you are interested in technical analysis, in learning how to trade, got some links in the description below. You can hit that link. Blackfire Technical Analysis Facebook link is down below, and the Blackfire Technical Analysis Twitter handle is down below as well, @FireAnalysis. So help a brother out, hit them links. Join the channel, add me as a friend. All the information's down there. And if it's not, just let me know. If there are any pieces of information that you need, I will provide it to you. So let's go ahead and move on. This excites me. Why? US dollar index coming down tells me Bitcoin's coming up. Woo! All right, let's go check out Bitcoin. Price action looks a little different from what I was seeing about 2 hours ago here. This candle was actually all the way down here at 48,355 when I left work today. I pulled out my phone, checked price action real quick before I clocked out, and boom, price was in the red. But then I come home, look at it, and we're testing resistance right now. So I do have a little bit of a box here that I want to bring up to everybody's attention here. I did a little adjustment here. This is the consolidation range at the moment in time, right? And I was thinking about this to myself, and I said, Brian, don't get excited yet. I know we're on higher low trajectory, right? We are still on higher low trajectory, right? We got our low here, and then we got a higher low, slightly, but enough is enough, a higher low here, right? So I was like, all right, is it still consolidation, blah, 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 blah. I was questioning myself and all that stuff, going through the mental process, and I said, Brian, look, until one of the ups, until one of the horizontals breaks, either to the upside or to the downside, it's fucking consolidation. It's consolidate. Just like when I tell you guys, the trend is your friend until the end of the trend. An uptrend is your friend until the end of the trend. An uptrend is an uptrend. A downtrend is a downtrend. Consolidation is consolidation until the consolidation comes to an end. We have plenty of time left in Bitcoin's price action at the current moment in time. I would be confident in saying any closure above the top side resistance of this daily consolidation range, 49,630. Any closure above that region, anywhere in this blue box territory is going to be a valid target. The first one that I'm going to be looking for is the top side of this blue box territory, somewhere around 52,800 bucks would be my first upside target, right? But if we reject, we saw this candlestick reject. I saw this candlestick starting to come to the downside. I said, all right, consolidation is consolidation. We likely see a pullback to this region here at 46,412, right? That is still a possibility. That, in my opinion, is still a possibility here. We can even move this up and tighten the range to the candle body closures, and it's still very relevant here. 46,875 is the bottom side of the range here from a candle body closure basis. But if we play with wicks, we do realize we have a general support right here that is holding strong, right? So we're in consolidation, and the disposition is simple. If the consolidation breaks to the downside, which is this bottom side support here, that will coincide with a break of the 21 exponential, at which point I will be out of my position and I will be looking for potential short opportunities, right? Any closure below this support level here at 46,350, I will look for a follow through and continuation of the potential downtrend all the way down to 44,600. That would be the first target that I'd look to the downside. That would coincide with multiple candle closures below the 21 exponential, at which point I would hold a short position until what? Price action crosses back above the 21 exponential, and that could be anywhere, right? And that's not to say that we couldn't see, potential rejection and a macro continuation from this point here, right? We could see price action come down, down, down to this level here before it resets and continues on first. That is a possibility. We could see price action continue straight through even today. That is a possibility. We could see price action hit. Oh, that's wrong. We can see price action come back down, keep consolidating, keeps, if it's consolidating until it's the end of the, consolidation phase. So, those are just a couple of the ideas, the theories behind price action movement here today. But at the end of the day, I only have two dispositions to the upside. If we break the top side resistance, 49,650 to the upside, I will look for general continuation, likely to the top side of this box at 52,750, right? But if we reject this resistance today, I would look for price continuation to the bottom side of the range all the way down to 46,300. If we break the bottom side of the range, the first target I have in mind for the downside is 44,660 to the downside, and that's where I'll leave price action today. What is RSI telling us? Ooh, it was sideways, but that price action momentum to the upside has forced an unconfirmed cross to the upside of RSI. Again, this is unconfirmed because when I was watching this at work today, they were both flatlined. The exponential and the RSI were both flatlined. So I do know that this is a fresh cross, and this cross is unconfirmed until closure. But if we do get that confirmation of a fresh cross above the exponential, more excitement, more ammunition for the bulls. Stochastics here, coiling around the bottom side of the bullish control zone, but holding that exponential as tentative resistance. We have to zoom in to give you a better idea of what stochastics is doing. We got that cross back up, a little bit of a test of the exponential. Starting to see some upside momentum here. So things are exciting for Bitcoin, where I did think price action could potentially reverse. Now I'm more inclined to think that maybe price action has more of a probability to continue to the upside. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but from my perspective, I think if we even close like this today above that resistance, I'm going to get really excited for continuation, because price action will be confirmed closure on new highs, and I'll have no reason to look for continuation on Bitcoin here. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Again, I am very excited for Ethereum, but I'm not looking to just start trading it just yet. I want to buy a couple of them, right? So I want Ethereum to go into a bear market. I want to buy at the lowest price possible. I want to accumulate a few of them before I start trading it. But look at fucking Ethereum. I think Ethereum is absolutely leading the market. This is what makes me believe that that Bitcoin potentially reverses and continues to the upside. Bitcoin is not leading the market in comparison to Ethereum, in my opinion. Why? This whole consolidation structure here absolutely shit on. Boom. New highs. Now we're seeing a little bit of that sideways chill out action. What do we see on stochastics? Continuation off the bottom side of the bullish control zone into the critical zone once again. Obviously the potential for bearish divergence is present, but the momentum is to the upside. RSI back into the bullish control zone once again. Starting to see that little flaggy shit here. Momentum belongs to the bulls, in my opinion. We do have potential bearish divergence. Again, if we get a top call on Ethereum from this point, no, never mind. We're on new highs. RSI is on new fucking highs. No bearish divergence on RSI is potential at the current moment in time, because this little spike here was not confirmed at the top. Let's see how that correlates with price action. Yeah, not a top. So this isn't even a 0.4 bearish divergence. This point and this point are, but we are closing above both of those regions here. So no bearish divergence on the RSI, potential bearish divergence on stochastics. I'll be curious to see which one gets that call again, assuming this one gets a top. General disposition though, I'm going to be looking for continuation to near the all-time high for Ethereum, about 40.85 spot 30 is going to be my next price projection. I would look for more of a pullback to test this region more confidently at 35.92 as new tentative support. But even if we saw price action come all the way down, test the 21 exponential as tentative support, and then launch off, that would not be out of the question. Why? Because our last low is here. Oh yeah, right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here. And we see in conjunction with the 21 exponential, the 21 is farther above the prior low. So again, those are just possibilities. Do I think that's likely going to happen? No, I think the first target we test to the downside is going to be 35. We'll just call it $3,600 to the downside. It's kind of the general area that I'd be looking for a pullback to confirm. But this is looking extremely powerful, guys. Let's see how the short-term time frames play out. No. Short-term time frame says just continuation. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out for Ethereum. But, you know, we got a couple of upside targets. We got a couple of downside targets. I do think it is time for the stock markets, my other assets, AMC. Let's see if it confirmed a higher low. Not yet. We're starting to see that little flatline, shit on the RSI here. Oh, but I'm on the 4 hour. Higher high, pullback, possibly looking for another higher low along the exponential here. Would be very interesting. If I see any candle closure above it, man, I'd say above this resistance here at 44.90, I would be looking for that higher low to confirm, and I would look for continuation back to this region here, possibly further. 48.26 is going to be the first level that I'm looking at. But if we see price action soar through that level, 53.68 is going to be my next target for AMC here. Stochastics looking a little bit weak, but confirming new highs once again. Soft cross to the downside. Doesn't look like a strong, strengthy cross, right? Not a girthy cross, not one of those veiny, savage, thick crosses to the downside. Just one of those limp dick crosses, right? Soft. Nothing too extreme in my opinion. It's not a sign for concern because we're in the bullish control zone here from a stochastics perspective, and we're on a higher low structure from a price action perspective and an RSI perspective, and as well as closing continuously above the 21 exponential. As long as we close candles above the 21 exponential, I'm really looking for AMC to go to the fucking moon. But if we do close below the 21 exponential, which is in perfect line with our current support level here at $40 even, I will look for a back test to confirm his resistance, obviously, before looking for the next target to the downside, somewhere around 37 spot. We'll just call it 37 spot 30, right? That'll be the next general area, give or take a few cents, maybe even 50 cents. But that would be the general target for the first general target to the downside if we saw price action break the 21 exponential. But am I really looking for that? Obviously not. Obviously not, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually looking for continuation at as a whole. Keep it quick on AMC. I got plenty of requests here today. Oh, I forgot to pull them up. There we go. I'm going to do MMAT right now. Cool. One of their requests. All right, guys. I am fucking stoked for MMAT. Why? Boom! 16% to the upside, confirming nothing. No new high or low, just general continuation. I do think that price action is a little extended, and a higher low at some point is going to have to start playing out. But we're still in the context of an uptrend, right? This is our base low here, followed by a higher high, taking out this high, all these highs over here, and then confirming a new higher low, and then continuation. I really thought maybe this could be a low, but it didn't call it out on the RSI here, so I'm not convinced that that's a low just yet. But we got general continuation all the way back up. Target has been met, $5.45. I did say that was a possibility. I didn't think price action would hit it right off the bat. I thought price action maybe would just barely close above this resistance first and then confirm it as support before doing so. But Target has been met. Target has been met. Target has been met. Now I'm going to be looking for a little bit of a pullback to test this region as new tentative support, somewhere around $5 even, generally, give or take a few cents, before looking for general continuation to the upside. Again, if we break this resistance at 5.47, I'll look for continuation all the way back up to $5.87 and likely higher. But at some point, we're going to have to see a lower high, or excuse me, a higher low formulate at some point, unless this thing just fucking shoots to the moon, right? I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just underlying a couple of conditions that I'm preparing myself for execution on price action. Give me 1 second, guys. So yeah, MMAT, I got to adjust my risk management here. We secured more profits. Very, very, very exciting for MMAT. Matt says, can't wait to hear what your opinion of the Hall of Fame chart. Oh, guess what? It's next. That one's next. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to finish MMAT here, though, first. Let's look at stochastics here. Again, another little bit of a weak soft cross to the downside. We're seeing potentially the bullish control zone, the bottom side of the bullish control zone, potentially, putting that upside pressure, right? We're not seeing that straight dip, right? And, let me illustrate what I'm talking about, right? We got this dip. This is where I'd be, concerned, right? If we saw a straight cross, right? Momentum to the downside. Instead, we saw this... rounding up, right? Rounding up. That tells me that pressure is still on to the upside potentially. And unless, unless stochastics crosses that bullish control zone, bullish control it is, looking for new highs. I'm going to be looking for new highs on this one. Again, not to say that we couldn't see price action pull back to the 21 exponential, which is extremely valid. That would be a healthy pullback, a healthy retracement here. And, even all the way to this support level here, 3.76 could be a possibility for another higher low structure. But, as long as price action closes above the 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking again for moonshots. I'm going to be looking for price action to continue onwards and upwards and look at how vertical this is, man. This is momentum. This is momentum here for MMAT, right? We saw that one red day, got a little worried, but boom, continues onwards and upwards to the upside. So I'm very confident that price action is going to continue on this one again until proven otherwise. Hall of Fame, the most important asset of the Blackfire Technical Analysis Group today. Lots of discussion on the Hall of Fame. I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Barring any of the, the gambling bills or the betting or anything aside, I'm going to specifically focus purely on the analysis today. And what do we got? Well, we got a high. So a couple of things I want to bring to everyone's attention from a micro scale, right? If we zoom in, looking at this structure here, right? Everything below this resistance level here, right? We got our little, lower high here, followed by putting in this base low, and then boom, to the upside, right? We got a higher high in conjunction with this high here. My buddy Corey brought something up that to be honest with you, I didn't think about. I didn't think about it first, and I was like, you know what? When in doubt, pull out, right? When in doubt, pull out. So when you pull out, what do you see? This is our last high right here, right? This is our last major high right here before the cycle changed and closed below the 21 exponential. Yes, we are above the 21 exponential again, but guess what? We have another high right here. This high right here in conjunction with this high right here very well could prove to be a macro lower high, which would be indicative of downside continuation, potentially to the bottom side of this blue box territory at $1.97. Now, obviously, that's a little bit of hindsight trading here. We do have a couple of topics to consider when talking about this, and I will show you where where you potentially could be convinced that this is a structural lower high. But overall, from a micro perspective, we are in the precipice of a potential uptrend. If we can hold the 21 exponential and print a higher low off the 21 exponential, I would have no reason not to look for higher price action all the way up to $3.75. Again, assuming the condition of a higher low is met, which it's not. That's what I would be looking for to the upside. Here's where I get a little worried. Yes, we are on a new high structure here, but look, we rejected the 50 read. Boom. We're back below the 50 read here, putting a lot of pressure on that exponential. Now, that doesn't mean to say that we couldn't see RSI pop all the way down to 44 spot 25, print a higher low, and continue onwards. But, rejecting the 50 read here overall, regardless of trend, is a little bit of a sign of concern here, right? Here's another bit of a sign of concern. Stochastics rejecting the bullish critical zone here, and this is the kind of cross to the downside that I'm talking to you guys about, the one that gets me a little bit worried here. Boom, straight down with that momentum here. Now again, that's not to say that it isn't possible to see a higher low structure with stochastics coming all the way down, bouncing back up, going back into the critical zone. I always do that. Always. And price action here could potentially print a higher low here and continue onwards and upwards, or price action could continue down to this support again, which is a possibility, to confirm the higher low structure here first before continuing onwards and upwards, or price action says, nah, we're just kidding, this is a structural lower high, and takes out all that price action and hits this target to the downside at $1.95. All three are possibilities that I'm looking at. All three are possibilities that I have already prepared for. All three are possibilities that you should prepare for as well. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But if I were you, I would not be planning, just to the moon, or just to the dirt, right? You got to plan for every kind of perspective. You don't, unless you're some kind of like long-term investor on the Hall of Fame, which I am of. I have a small amount of shares to the side that I day trade for the Hall of Fame, and a very massive portion of shares on the other side that I don't touch at all whatsoever. From my investment standpoint, coming down to $1.95, probably a good thing, because I would be looking to scoop up more shares at that point. Coming to the price target of $3.75 could also be good, because that's where my first take profit zone is marked. I have plans for both sides. That's how I'm looking at the Hall of Fame today, you guys. A little bit of sign of concern here, definitely as a potential structural lower high isn't potentially in formation. But again, from a micro standpoint, we are at a higher high structure, and we do have the possibility to print a higher low before continuing onwards and upwards. Higher low could be printed right on the 21, or we could see price action break the 21 and print a higher low on a $2.85 region. All of which are very possible. So that's kind of how I'm looking at the Hall of Fame right now. Let's see. Well, look at that. SNDL was going to be my next one anyway. That's another one of my requests. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. I have entered a position on SNDL. I have added to my position for SNDL. Why? Secondary candle closure above the 21 exponential. 21 exponential gaining positive momentum here. RSI. Ooh, almost breaking that 50 read, but I have confidence that it will. Ooh, Matt says, yeah, I bought high and have been averaging down. My average is 380. I don't want to rub it into you, bro, but my average is about $1.80. $1.80. That's where I bought the bulk of my shares. It's actually when I heard that Hall of Fame Village was a share, was a stock that you could buy, and I didn't even care about the price. I bought it. I bought about 300 on my first go, and then I've been slowly buying ever since on the Hall of Fame here. Let's go ahead and take a look. I did buy this low. I don't think I bought this low exactly. I think I bought somewhere around 258. Got a couple of more shares at that lower price here, again, because it is possible that we don't see price action continue on lower, but if it does, I'll average down. I have no problem with that. I'll average my shares to the downside and accumulate a lot more. SNDL, though, we have a trade confirmed. Although we don't have every signal that I'm looking for, the main edge that I concentrate on is that yellow 21 exponential here. And we have a secondary candle closure back above the 21 exponential to confirm it as new tentative support. I am confident we broke resistance. I'm going to be looking for a little bit of a back test of this region here first. 78.5 cents before continuing to the next target, projected at 82 cents. That is my upside projection here. If we fail and reject and below the 21 exponential, I would be looking for this low here, which I'm going to mark off. 74.5 cents would be my next target to the downside. Again, assuming that price action closes below the 21 exponential, that's what I'd be looking for. But does momentum tell me that? Not even on the shorter term time frames, it doesn't tell me that. It tells me continuation on the 4 hour. on the 8-hour and on the 24-hour. So, you know, I trade the daily. Hey man, thanks for being here. I appreciate your support. You have a good night, Matt. Take it easy, bro. Peace. But, you know, as far as, you know, RSI is concerned, we're putting a lot of pressure on that 50 read right now, and I'm going to be looking for that to potentially break. And if it does, that would coincide with, you know, possible continuation to that 88, 82 cent region here. But if we reject the 50 read, the downside is more likely, in my opinion, to the 74 cent region here. So that's kind of how I'm looking at SNDL. Let's go ahead and finish these requests out. If you guys want to tune in, I am going to be streaming a little bit of that Subnautica after this stream here today. I'm going to pop on, get a game going. It'll be on the same YouTube channel. It'll be on Facebook. If you guys want to see me fuck shit up on Subnautica, hop in and watch that gaming stream. Hop in and watch that gaming stream. But let's go ahead and look at Timber, TMBR. Timber Pharmaceuticals. What is it telling us? Stick to the rules. Stick to the rules, Brian. Stick to the rules. We have one candle closure above the 21. I won't be entering a position on Timber Pharmaceuticals until we see a secondary closure above the 21 to confirm it, right? We don't have confirmation yet, although we do have a couple of warning shots fired. First warning shot, RSI taking out this entire consolidation range. Boom! Back above the 50 read. Warning shot fired number 1. Warning shot fired number 2. Stochastics. Boom! Back above the critical level here into the bearish control zone and looking to test the top side. A secondary candle closure above the 21 likely sends the RSI further above the 50 read and stochastics here above the 35 read for the bearish control zone. And I will be confident in saying that we do have a potential position here for Timber Pharmaceuticals. What am I looking for right now? Again, a back test. I wouldn't say the $1 range. I'd actually be more comfortable with saying a back test of the 21 exponential at 96 cents first and foremost. Maybe even a wick lower to confirm this region as tentative support here at 94 cents. But overall, what I'm going to be looking for is price action to confirm that secondary candle closure above the 21 exponential before I look for continuation all the way up to the top side here. About $1.06 is what I'm going to be looking for price action to go to overall. Any closure above $1.06 any closure above $1.06 here is going to be indicative of a change of behavior, a legitimate change of behavior on price action. And I have no reason not to think price action could move onwards and upwards to $1.13, maybe even $1.30 here. But to the downside, if this is just some kind of bull trap fake out, we likely see this region here act as resistance with a full crash below the 21 exponential, and I will be calling bear trap or bull trap here coming into tomorrow's analysis. But for now, we do have very, very, very big momentum here, pushing this price action up almost 10%. I'm going to be looking for a little bit of sell-off. But this kind of candle body structure is indicative of continuation overall. So that's kind of how I'm looking at that one. Fubo, for this one, maybe some strong levels of resistance and support. I'm invested in this, not waiting to cash in yet. Not really wanting to cash in yet. So we're going to check out Fubo here. And he wants strong levels. I'd say we're at a strong level of resistance right now. But if we want to talk about major, we'll talk about major. We'll talk about major levels here. Okay? We're gonna highlight them for you. That way you have clear and decisive horizontals. Boom. We're gonna make that bad boy thick. Thick. Boom. Next one. Boom. Those are my two major levels for this price action right now. The 21 exponential moving average strategy is a confirmation. It is playing out in the bull favor here as of late. Again, RSI back above that 50 read, printing new highs in conjunction with this high here. This is the only high that is in concern for me. But stochastics, again, that long-term trend line structure here, holding validity with 1.2.3 points of contact, continuing onwards and upwards through, looking at that 50 read. I'm going to be very, very, very confident here. If I wanted to put a little bit of a soft target, we're going to go ahead and say, we're gonna thin that out here, right? We're going to thin it out, and this is what I'm looking at. Yep. So we saw yesterday's candle. Let's zoom in. Let's make sure that's as accurate as possible here. There we go. So we saw price action come up to this region here on the 31st of August, right? Boom. Closed right on resistance. Followed by a little bit of a whoop coming down, and then boom. Closed above resistance. Today's candle closure confirmed this region as new tentative support, which coincides with the 21 exponential holding strength right now. My next price action projection for targets, again, you want strong levels first. Strong levels of resistance. The first strong one is going to be 34.45. Strong level of support is going to be 24.90. Those are the two major levels that I'm looking at. If we break the upside, I think price action is going to get very exciting for this one. To the upside, first target being the 38.90 region to the upside. But the fact that we closed above this median line here of resistance, confirming it to new tentative support, gives me the opinion that potentially seeing price action move to 34.34 is a huge possibility. Again, momentum oscillators are definitely curled up back above the 50 read. We have momentum. Exponential has a positive slope. That is one of the points towards the bulls. Stochastics here, boom, right through the top side of the bearish control zone, continuing towards that 50 read. I'll be even more confident if we take out the 50 read coming into tomorrow, which, in my opinion, closures above this support level here likely forces stochastics above that 50 read. So, with all of that in line, I would be confident in saying price action has a decent chance to move up to 34.34 here. And to the downside, obviously, strong support being this level here, but intermediate support being here at 26.30. Right? If we take out this resistance, I'd look for the next level to the downside. I'd get a little worried if we take out this resistance, looking for the next level to the downside. Boom. Any closure below 24.90 here likely ends up catastrophic for price action. Likely. With a projected target about 21.90 to the downside would be my first projected target if that, if this whole structure fails to continue to the upside. And that's kind of how I'm looking at this one here. Again, as long as we're above the 21 exponential, per my trading rules, I stick with that edge. I'm looking for continuation overall. And again, like I said, if we confirm this region as tentative support, I'm going to be looking for continuation as a result here on Fubo. Last one, everybody, and that's going to do it for the stream, at least for the analysis stream before I get to gaming here. Prague. I hate this chart. What a 1 and 4 hour charts. So we're going to check out the 1 hour here. 1 hour is sideways as fuck. But looking for continuation. Looking for continuation. We actually hit the one. Yeah. I'd say that's close enough. Is close enough. 1 cent away from the 1.272 Fibonacci extension target at $1.08 here. I do believe that target has been met. Base low here. We haven't printed a low here yet. Looking a little bit bull flaggy here on the hourly. I would say continuation back to the 1.272 here on the hourly is definitely possible. We have stochastics in an uptrend back into the bullish critical zone here. Again, from an hourly perspective, and the RSI here looking a little bit weaker, to be more honest with you. Putting in lower high right here, but we took it out. We saw RSI took it out here. We're still above the exponential, so my disposition mainly is continuation to the upside, at least as the as far as the hourly is concerned. What does the 4 hours say? Back above the 21 exponential, closed a secondary candle above the 21 exponential. I have no reason to think the price action won't extend to the 1.212 Fibonacci extension zone here. But look at RSI here on the 4 hour. Back above the bearish control zone, a decent sign in and of itself, but still pretty low, to be quite honest with you. This is definitely indicative of continuation. I'd be looking for more, to be quite honest with you, unless we see candle closures below the 21 exponential, at which point I'd look for a retest of this support level here, 83 cents. And again, with a penny stock like this, I have no hope for this one, to be quite honest with you, until I see signs of full-blown reversal. And the first sign of full-blown reversal would be back above $1.75, to be quite honest with you, or the prior structural high right here on RSI. We do have the potential for nothing just yet. Nothing. No bullish divergence, no bearish divergence. 4-hour stochastics definitely really oversold here. And you know, if we look at the 4-hour history here, we tend to be in the bearish critical zone way more often than we do in the bullish critical zone. So this definitely has my alert flag stacked to the maximum. Again, pulling out the 4-hour here, touch into the bullish critical zone, death. 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 Every single time on the 4-hour chart. From the perceived amount of stochastics available, every time stochastics got into the bullish critical zone, we've seen near immediate death as a result. Let's pull it out, check it out on price action here. 4-hour stochastics, death. 4-hour stochastics, death. 4-hour stochastics, into the critical zone, death, death, death. 4-hour critical zone, into the 4-hour bullish critical zone, stochastics, death. Critical zone, death, death, die. Just so, this chart's so bad. I have no respect for the bullish critical zone as far as the 4-hour chart is concerned, in my opinion, for this price action chart. Every time on the 4-hour chart we have achieved control in the critical zone, we have gotten strict sell-off as a result. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking for here. Am I expecting this to reverse to the upside? Hell no, absolutely not. Not until price action takes out the the next high here, back above $1.70. Well, actually, it's not $1.75. I'd say more like $1.67. Until price action confirms closures above there, I have no hope for like a long-term reversal or anything like that. But for short-term, yeah, I do think the 1-hour has a possibility to extend, but the 4-hour is a sign of concern back in that bullish critical zone here. I hear the term a lot that overbought and oversold doesn't really exist, but when you look at this one here, overbought is a joke. As far as the 4-hour time frame, overbought is a joke for this asset. Every time we peak into the 4-hour overbought territory, boom, absolute heinous rejection as a result. And again, past market performance is not indicative of future market results, but the evidence is right there for you. The evidence is there. I have the evidence to say that I am very confident that price action is likely going to swing to the downside as a result of the stochastics entering the bullish critical zone. And I think that's where I'm going to leave. I cover downside targets. Yeah, I cover downside. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks for another exciting stream. Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. And that's going to wrap it up for the stream today. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay happy, stay fucking healthy.